What's going on YouTube? So we're going to talk about a couple things that went on in the Pokemon news world this week. Starting with GameStop is now doing Whatnot streams. I'm a little conflicted about it, so I'm going to sit on the fence a little bit and just kind of talk about some of the pros and cons of that. Um, Personally, I think it's a little odd, right? So you have a major company that has distribution access that's now going to be selling you cards on an auction site. In addition to that, they are also increasing most of their prices about 30% from MSRP. So, good and bad, right? Right now, with the scalpers and how hard it is to get product, unless you go to the store on opening, you probably won't get anything anyways. Now you have the opportunity to jump on, bid on something, and maybe get some product. On the other side of the coin, they are taking distribution access product that they have and upselling it to you. That doesn't really sit too kosher. I'm a little conflicted about that. In addition, there's also the problem that it's not just going to be GameStop. Look, if GameStop is doing it and they make money off of it, you can bet why wouldn't Target or Walmart want to start partnering with streamers and start increasing revenue that way, right? Now, of course, if you're not familiar with Whatnot, it has a certain reputation, right? There are a lot of people on there, a lot of stories coming out of scammers and whatnot. Not saying that they're all scammers, but there's a handful of them because Whatnot doesn't seem to enforce their policy effectively or consistently. So, with that being said, potentially, unless GameStop is really vetting these people, I'm not really sure how well that's going to play out long term. So, there's definitely some concerns with that. I'm not really sure if this is something that's just going to be what they do because Pokemon's real hot right now and it's going to die out and they're going to end it. Who knows when the next set comes out, it doesn't get popular and maybe they stop. Not really sure where that's going to go with that. But to set the precedent of doing that, I don't know. I think it's a little iffy. We're kind of getting territory that personally I don't really like a whole lot. In addition, it's really going to hurt the small streamers, right? So the little guys that are, trying to make it, you got maybe, 10, 20, 30 people in your stream. Well, now, if GameStop's streaming and they're taking, even if it's 5 to 10 of your viewers, well, that really makes a big difference to you guys. So for all the smaller streamers that are, trying to make their bread here, I think this is really going to put a damper on a lot of those aspirations. If you're one of those people, by all means, don't give up, right? Do what you're doing and get your hustle on, but just know that maybe you want to schedule outside of the times the GameStop are going to be doing their stream. So let me know what you guys think about that. Did you watch the stream? How do you feel about that? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Moving on, the next set release date has been announced. It's going to be Mega Evolutions. That's going to be hitting in the US here. Let me see, I got some notes here. September 26th, right? So Japan, as always, they're going to get a hit first. That one's going to hit August 1st. And we will have our English pre-release going from the 13th to the 21st September here in the US before it finally hits. So stay tuned. More news will come out as we find out more information about that. But yeah, so we're moving into now Mega Evolutions. That's going to be our next set. Right now, Black Bolt White Flare is our last of the Scarlet Violet era, and we're getting ready to move on from there. And then finally, so right now we're seeing a lot of market fluctuations, especially with the singles card prices for Destin Rivals, right? But if we kind of look across the board, a lot of prices on the singles are going down. So you ask yourself, okay, so what does that mean, right? Is this a market crash or is this a market correction? I don't think it's a market crash. Okay? If we're even looking ahead, right, with Black Bolt and even with the next one coming up, Mega Evolutions, we're being told continue to expect product shortages. So I think there's still going to be a high demand, not enough product really to meet the market. So I still think we're going to be okay on that. However, what we're seeing, I think, is a market correction. We had prices going ridiculous. It's like $1,600 for a Umbreon. I don't think that's something that was sustainable, right? Generally, over time, you will see cards increasing in price. But to jump up as quickly as it did to that amount, that seemed like that was kind of a bubble that was just waiting to burst. Especially, now we've got Costco 2-pack bundles sitting with more prismatic, more are being ripped open. There's a little more product out there. I think we'll continue to see singles prices drop a little bit, maybe to a little more about where they should be versus kind of this bubble we have right now. Sealed product, on the other hand, as always, well, I don't want to say always, but it's a good investment, right? If you're willing to hold. Most of the time, you know, you got to hold it at least 5 years or so, and the potential you could see, you know, your investment double. So if you're looking at it as an investment on sealed product, at least hold for about 5 years. You'll probably see some great returns on that. If you're looking at singles right now as a collector, personally, I wouldn't buy it. Wait a few months. I think you'll see prices continue to go down. If you're, you know, obviously you're in it, you're trading and buying and things like that, right? Do what you do because you're watching the prices went up. But if you're just a collector and you're looking to save a little bit of money to complete your collections, there's more product coming out to the market right now. It's being ripped. You will see singles prices go down a little bit. So collectors, hold off a little bit. You can save a little bit of money, and we'll start seeing where the market settles down at on these singles. So stay tuned. I have another video coming out for those that are interested in how the business is going so far, some of my struggles and things that I've learned. I'll do that in a separate video. So for now, until next time, you guys take care.